Say hello to the big blue blob. The reason we're doing this video is because I'm doing a live stream series with France, and I thought, why not we make a powerful France in Ck3? Yes, so Ck3 France is going to be OP. They have formed this empire. They have a little bit more than the extended borders, and everyone is French. So this means rebellions should not really happen in this territory, and hopefully France rules the world. The one thing I'm doing that's different than a lot of videos I do, I'm not buffing France. I'm just kind of uniting the borders and making the empire title. I'm not doing anything to actually buff the nation. Hopefully France can keep it together. They do decently when they don't fall apart, so hopefully we see them do good here. Also, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. I appreciate it. We've seen powerful Frances before, so it's not like out of the whole realm to see France do really good here. It's just, you know, nations always fall apart in this game, and it might not happen though because of us converting all the culture, because usually Aquitaine gets its independence because of the culture. So since it doesn't have that problem, there's a chance France might keep all their land, or they'll have a horrible death and fall apart, which is possible as well. I forgot. In the beginning of this later start date in Ck3, Normandy goes to war with England. Well, since there's now an empire title, instead of them becoming independent, Normandy is now underneath the Francia Empire. Pretty much all of France took England because it's technically a kingdom. Wow. This may actually make France really OP, and I didn't realize this little change would do so much. The Ck3 is starting to collapse, which is good because France has not collapsed yet, and they're looking really good. They're actually taking a lot of land in Britannia, which is good, and they're not buffed. And I would like to rephrase that. They're not actually buffed. I just united the borders, but I think I accidentally made them the most powerful nation because of the Normandy thing. I still think there's a chance England gets their independence, so don't be too excited. However, Luxembourg is here, and we all are happy because they're the best nation in the game. Before they do anything, I would like to clear up the air. I have been getting more comments lately about my disdain for the Byzantine Empire. I do not hate the Byzantine Empire, like historically, or the people that like lived in this area. I hate that Paradox doesn't know how to balance a game, and the Byzantine Empire just like dominates. And historically, and during this era, this empire is like crumbling and falling apart. But in this game, for some reason, they're the most powerful nation. So it's not really that I hate the Byzantine Empire. I hate that they always win, even though like they shouldn't. Hopefully that cleared things up. But I will say I hate the Byzantine, like I'm gonna say it still. God damn it, France, you had one job, and it was to keep England. England got their independence, so now there's some border gore, and it's kind of disgusting because somehow England got even more territory. So I don't know what's gonna happen because of this. I actually don't. Because like technically like France has claims on this land, so maybe they'll go after England, or maybe they'll leave them alone. We'll have to wait and see. The Ck3 is really struggling, but for some reason they're dipping lands down in Croatia. Poland and Hungary look good. France is at war with England. I don't know if anything's gonna happen out of that, but it's kind of messy right now. Nothing really else is happening. I do have to say the Scandinavians have been looking good for a while. I really want to maybe do another video about the Scandinavians because I feel like a buff or two could really make them stand out and rule the world pretty easily. The ruler of the Persian Empire, who's albino, isn't going to keep the Persian Empire intact. Unfortunately, we almost always see it fall. I don't know why this always happens. Oh, I do. It's because of succession laws and blah blah blah, and they just fall apart because the AI is stupid. And then Paradox in one of their updates wanted to make the game harder for players. They made it harder for players, but the AI wasn't smart enough, so the AI gets screwed now. So never mind, I actually know it. But Ruthenia looks thick. They can form Russia. Hopefully. I doubt it though. I think France is a bit distracted with the whole England thing. I think they should leave it alone and go after the remnants of the Ck3, because the Ck3 is pretty much dead. So I think France needs to give up on England and expand elsewhere. Otherwise, we're just gonna be here and do the same war for the next 300 years. So, this isn't how the video is supposed to turn out, guys. I would like to apologize somehow by forming the French Empire, or the French Empire, yeah, French Empire, we made England stronger. So I'm sorry. And yeah, let's continue. Hey, look at Sicily. Sicily looks really good. Wow, cool. That's awesome. Nation doing good, just like England. Yeah. Hey, but England is they aren't French anymore. Man, that's even more awkward. Okay. Yeah, this is bad. You gotta be, the French aren't even French anymore. They're Franconian. That's Germanic. Holy cow, this video is going to complete shit. The Mongols are here and they're causing a ruckus a little bit. Not too bad. I don't think they're really going to affect this game. I do think there's a chance that Aquitaine could bring back France, which would be amazing. But I would not get our hopes up. France did collapse, and I don't know if they'll actually come back. It'd be interesting to see, but I'm not sure. I don't understand how things like this happen, like bad things. Byzantines. I mentioned them a lot. I don't really like them. You know, I say that, even though I said in the beginning of this, they're fine. Norway, somehow. They have Norway somehow. I don't understand how they do this. Like, they inherited something, like, but how? How do you even marry someone from up there? You're Orthodox, and their religion up there is, like, Lorard or, like, Admite. Like, you're not the same religion even. I don't understand how this happens. France is back, baby. So we do have France here, so hopefully they do form the Frankia Empire, and we just get a video where France was formed in the beginning, and they end formed. And that's all we have. Like, that's all I'm asking for. You got 200 years. If you do that, I'll be happy. That's all we want at this point. So France and the HRE are both French. So there's a chance that we could have a French HRE and Franconian Empire kind of Francia thing. So it would be cool to see. I'd like to see it. I don't know what will happen. They kind of been going to war with each other. Hopefully they don't stun each other's growth. Something I don't talk about in these videos a lot is the rulers that rule the nation. And we got a pretty cool ruler right now for France. He is a dwarf. He's a twin. He's one-eyed. And he's wounded. So, you know, this guy could be even more badass if he gets, like, scarred or something. So it's going to be really interesting to see if we go. And, yeah, I took an entire break while making this video, so that's why I look completely different, and I got a haircut and everything like that. So, yes, don't question it. Yes, continue. We have an insane Syria down here, and I think it's because, like, someone powerful that was French took this land, and they're kicking butt. This is one of the most powerful crusades we've seen. The borders are bigger than the actual power because a lot of this is like, you can't actually control it. But still, it's still a lot of power here. So we might actually see Syria do something here. Would they kill the Byzantines? Probably not, but maybe they'd unite Egypt or kind of make the Arabian Empire here, which wouldn't be Arabian because, you know, they're Catholics. You know what? I'm going to say something controversial. Screw Syria here. They are allied with the Byzantines. So instead of destroying the Byzantines, they're going to help them conquer things. So not... Well, I think Syria took over Jerusalem, but since Jerusalem is the bigger title, Syria just become Jerusalem, so now we have a really big Jerusalem. You know, maybe I should pause when I talk, or else stuff like this happens all the time. We have 100 years left, and we got 3 main contenders, and one is super surprising. Francia, which is not very surprising because we did make them better in the start, so they should be doing good. They're not doing extremely well, as much as I want them to do. The Byzantines. God damn it. And then the surprising one, Jerusalem. Usually these nations don't do super well, but this Jerusalem's doing insanely well, and so I would really like to see them keep on going. I would love them to, like, backstab the Byzantines. I don't know if that would happen, but it's going to be an interesting last 100 years, that's for sure, and I can't wait to see which one of these nations comes on top. I'm really hoping it's Francia or Jerusalem, but, you know, I never trust the Byzantines. So now, it looks like there might only be one. Francia's doing good, but Jerusalem fell apart, and the Byzantines fell apart too. I'm pretty sure this blue nation, since it's Greek and Orthodox, split off from the Byzantines, so they lost most of their power, where Francia has not blown up yet, which can always happen, so a little scared to see. Poland and Ruthenia are looking good, same with Sampi. I don't think they're going to outshine Francia at this point, but it's going to be interesting to watch Poland, Ruthenia, and Sampi still. We are a little bit too far into the future. We've gone past the end date. I usually don't go too far past the end date. If you guys want me to go past the end of it more, let me know in the comments. But France is doing absolutely fantastic. This is really good. They almost have all of Iberia. They have the Northern Africa, which is pretty historical. But the Byzantines have completely collapsed. They're not even here. It's really just France. No one else looks decent. Ruthenia looks kind of good. But besides that, everyone's like kind of sub-powers, like regional powers, or Francia is just an absolute beast. The one thing I have to point out, maybe like it's the United States of the Mongols or something like that. Borgian US, kind of interesting. Never seen that before. Kind of cool. But, you know, it is what it is. Religion, yeah, the Catholics have spread a lot because France is doing so good and Orthodox is falling apart. So that's kind of common. Wow, the Islamic faith is almost eliminated. This is kind of unusual. Islamic faith usually does pretty good, but I think with the Catholics and Orthodox doing decent, they really got eliminated. Culture-wise, we got the French. The French are everywhere. Well, we kind of made this in the beginning, so it makes sense, but they're also over here because I think Jerusalem was French. So overall, interesting game. Empire titles actually didn't change too much, but this is cool to see. So if you have any ideas for future videos, sorry about the break from content, wasn't feeling very good. Hopefully we get back to posting videos, but thank you so much for watching. See you later. Have a good one. Bye.